It's at that point where I decided to lift. And next thing I know, it's up and I'm yelling like a kid.
And it showed, like, the joy. The weight room is a microcosm of life.
Is
right?
it? Okay.
Absolutely. I mean,
Okay.
you set goals, and if you don't do your homework, well, they crush you, right?
Yeah.
Wellness role models. We'll start with a freebie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know of one, Ernestine Shepherd.
Oh, Miss Ernestine.
So how do you relate to her?
This woman started her health journey in her 50s.
Yeah.
She and her sister didn't like how they were going to be looking in swimsuits. And they decided to start working out. Her sister passed away. She continued on. I think she just had a birthday this past week.
How old?
I think she's, 89
Okay.
now?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at her thinking, there are women half your age that can't get that, what
Yeah.
you've got going on. I mean, she's still, working out, teaching classes, I think, competitive. She might still be competitive bodybuilding.
Okay.
I don't know, but I just look at her and think, she's decided that her assignment was not done yet. She has these amazing devotionals that she puts on social media.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, same thing I thought when I first got clued into her, 10 plus years ago? I want to be her when I grow up.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that because I, at 40, feel like I'm not grown up yet. And I'm always curious about who I want to be. And I've honestly started saying that, man, when I grow up, I want to do something different. You know? So it's kind of cool to see you say that too.
Oh, yeah.
But having raised one of me, you know, and still having that aspiration of just being someone different in the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. It wasn't always that way, though. I mean, there were many, many years where I felt like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
I don't like using the term lot in life, but I felt like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing. This is all I'm meant to be doing. I didn't start thinking about what a possible next act would be for me until our youngest son, Jordan, went to high school. Because, I'd been homeschooling our kids.
Yeah.
And when Jordan started high school in, was it 2015, I believe? Actually, before that, the year before that, he went to a charter school for 8th grade so he could transition to high school.
Yeah.
I started thinking, okay, so now what? I don't have any kids at home. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I had kind of started dabbling, with making my own skincare products and whatnot. Wanted to start a business with that, but was too lacking in business savvy to know how to get that going. I just knew that I was a kitchen chemist and I like making stuff.
Yeah.
And playing with essential oils and all of that kind of stuff. And I kept thinking, well, I finally said, Lord, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
And that's when I was just kind of in a period of flux. I tried writing a children's book that I still haven't finished.
Okay.
I'm the queen of unfinished projects.
Wow.
And it's time for me to start finishing, putting up, wrapping some of these things up. But I think it was 2013 when our son Chris was graduating from high school.
Yeah.
I think that's about the time you started your gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember you coming over to the house and I was on a walker. And Pops and I had a conversation not too long before you had come over. And, Pops doesn't cry. But he came and I was sitting on the sofa with the walker. And I must have looked really defeated because he came and sat across from me like on this ottoman.
Yeah.
And he had tears in his eyes. And he said, I need you to get better. He said, because I want one day to take you to go see Smokey Robinson. And so you can dance in the aisles. And then I just saw a little tear. And I thought, oh man, I done made this man cry now. He doesn't cry, you
Yeah.
know. And when you came over, you were working with me because you were talking about things like IT bands and
Yeah.
all that.
Mhm.
Because I was barely able to walk. It's sad when you can't get through your own house without a walker.
Yeah.
And I knew I needed to do something. So I remember you opened up the gym in that old warehouse in
Mhm.
Belleville. And I came out there and I could barely lift the
Yeah.
dumbbells. My left shoulder is still, crazy.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get through a set of 10
Yeah.
reps with 5-pound dumbbells. And I thought, this is really sad. And I started thinking about my parents
Mm.
because my mother died in 2012 of lung cancer, COPD, and emphysema.
Okay.
My father is still living. He's 90, but he's got arthritis through his entire body and congestive heart failure, as well as some kidney issues. For some reason, the Lord has allowed him to persevere. I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure on February 3rd, 2017, which happened to be National Wear Red Day.
Oh, okay.
Recognizing women and heart disease. And I
Okay.
thought, well, if that isn't a kick in the head.
Yeah. That's a sign, yeah.
And I remember Pops and me coming back from the doctor. And then he had to go to work. As soon as he left, I had a screaming match with God. I just pitched a total fit. Nobody was in the house but me.
Yeah.
I don't know why I decided to yell at God. It was my lack of doing what I needed to do that contributed to this on top of heredity. But it was like the next day, because I'll have these conversations with God where I'll just sit on the edge of my bed and he'll reveal something to me and I'll just go, really, Lord, you're asking me, Well, it was like God said, are you done having a fit? Because if you are, I've got some things I need for you to do. And that's when I reconnected with you and started working out. And by that time you were in another facility in Belleville.
Yeah, the strip mall.
Yeah, the
by
strip
Secretary
mall.
of State, yeah.
And over the course of 8 months, well, first of all, I got put on all these different medications all of a sudden. And I thought, no, I'm not going to have my nightstand looking like a drugstore.
Yeah.
Because that's how my mother's nightstand used to look.
Yeah.
But just with working out and making changes, in 8 months, I lost like 56 pounds. And I was so excited about this because I knew that I was adding years to my life.
Yeah.
And also, Pops and I had decided we were going to rewrite our family tree in a couple of different areas, and that was one of them. Unfortunately, I'm one of those people that it doesn't take much for me to get off my path if there's major changes.
Yeah.
And I started working outside of the home and took myself off the list.
Yeah.
Weight started creeping back on. Oddly, though, January of 2018, my new, now primary care physician ran some tests and my congestive heart failure had reversed itself. 7 years later, 7.5 years later, it's still reversed.
Yeah.
He's scratching his head.
Yeah.
I'm scratching my head.
Yeah.
And we're like, wow, my heart is quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
But I'm still considered a heart patient because once they label you with that stuff, you're that, forever, I guess. Then I find out, I knew I had arthritis because I was diagnosed at the age of 28.
Okay.
But then I find out, as my knees are getting worse, that I need to get my knees replaced. Reach out to you again.
Yeah.
You start kicking my tail in the gym. I still remember the last workout you put me through before the second knee replacement.
Yeah. I think it was the day before your surgery or something?
Yes. Because my surgery was on a Wednesday and you had me in here on that table on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
And you've got me doing suitcases with 25-pound plates.
Yeah.
And I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, this could really be the start of something different. I discovered during those workouts that I liked lifting weights. So I get, over the course of 2 years, both knees replaced. And then this past August, I'm diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Odd thing though, Ivan, is all these things that I've been diagnosed with, I'm always on the low end of it.
Yeah.
Like I've got high blood pressure, but it's on the low end of high. I have congestive heart failure, but now it's reversed. I have type 2 diabetes, but I just barely, if you want to call it that, I'm diabetic. And I'm on medication now for it. So instead of decreasing the stuff on my nightstand, I'm increasing it. But my thing is, I want to reverse these things.
Yeah.
And then at the beginning of the year, I started having hip pain as a result of depending too much on the hip because of the knee surgeries. So now I have to have my hip replaced.
Yeah.
Going through workouts here. And what do your brilliant PTs decide to do? Have me deadlift.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have started that. Oh, man, I'm in love with deadlifting. So part of the reason that I'm kind of discouraged now after this hip replacement surgery is that I don't know when I'm going to be able to deadlift again. And a friend of mine said, you realize that's because you're an athlete now. And I'm going, Rita, athlete in the same sentence? She goes, no, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
I miss that. I miss the adrenaline rush. And I miss the feeling of knowing that I'm doing something to invest in my health.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as a result, Pops and I want to go on another cruise. Being able to be on this cruise and not be in a wheelchair or whatever. So, and also, you've seen my husband. I married Benjamin Button, okay? He's aging backwards.
Yeah.
I don't want people thinking, who's that old wobbly chick next to that fine man over there? Like, no, that's my fine man, okay? So I just want to be able to keep up with him.
Yeah.
And keep up with our kids and our grandbabies. So it's been a journey. I mean, I've seen a lot of family members die because of comorbidities.
Yeah.
And anything that I can do to help reverse some of it, I want to reverse it. I mean, because, you only get to do this once.
Yeah, one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I just turned 66. More of my life is behind me than ahead of me. How am I going to finish this race?
But the best is yet to come.
Yeah. I'm finally wrapping my head around that.
Yeah.
I couldn't before.
Yeah. And it's powerful to think that in this phase you are super excited about the next 5-10 years, and you're looking at it with optimism. Where I remember kind of when we first really started attacking this workout space, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot there to unpack, but when someone is sitting at home listening to all of this, there's many husbands that are talking to their wives and saying, hey, look, this doesn't look too good. There's many, wives that are trying to get their husbands to get their act together. The problem with men is, we just fall dead. Women at least go to the hospital, they get to the doctors, they get the checkups, and but men just generally aren't proactive in their health or even in the checkups. It's like, if I don't know, it can't kill me until it does, but those are conversations I think that people are having. But the power in it is for people to see someone else speak of an intimate space, between you and your husband, pontificating life-ending, probabilities
Yeah.
based on, your health reality. I think that's really powerful. When you started getting stronger, how did Pops change? Like, what did it do for him?
Wow. That's a good question. See, I don't know if he changed a whole lot because Pops was always and still is my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah.
If anything, he would, continue doing what he'd been doing, saying, you got this, right?
Yeah.
You got this. It's a marathon, not a sprint, because I would get discouraged pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Especially, when you work out and build muscle. Muscle weighs more than fat, and me, I'm wanting that fat gone like that. Like, why doesn't the fat just see all this muscle coming on and go, oop, maybe I should just leave because I'm about to be overrun by muscle.
Yeah.
But Pops is always saying, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. It's not a sprint.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I know that, but you know me, I'm in get her done mode. And he goes, well, you're going to have to learn how to slow it down a little bit. And even when I would be here working out, I'm learning now the whole process of taking my time with the reps, because I'm like, let's just get it done. Let's get it done. And one of your staff was saying, oh no, Mama T, take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time in between sets.
Yeah.
Don't rush through it. So if anything, Pops has been trying to teach me how to take it easy.
Yeah.
And he's a perfect person to do that because he's the one with textbook perfect blood pressure.
Okay.
I was at an appointment with him a few years back, and the tech took his BP, and it was 120/80.
Oh, come on, get out of here.
And I just glared at him, and I said, you want to tell me how you gonna have perfect blood pressure being married to me? And he just laughed, and the tech laughs, and I just said, no, seriously, you're married to me, the queen of stress, the type A personality over all type A personalities, and you've got textbook blood pressure.
Well, you can't have two really stressed out people living together. That don't work.
And Pops, he just kind of smirked at me and said, well, don't you realize whatever you throw at me bounces off of me and comes right back on you? And I thought, oh, you strange little man, you.
That's funny.
But he's so chill about everything.
Yeah. But that's a person that I think will live forever,
Oh, yeah.
Because I think stress, man, it attacks your muscle. It gets into your fascia. It gets into your organs. It's in your brain. It's everywhere. And if you let it, right?
Yeah.
But I think you have good coping mechanisms. If you can think optimistically, if you can meditate, open mouth breathing, prayer, all those things help relieve stress.
Yeah.
But stress, I think, might be the number one killer. It leads to heart disease. It leads to anxiety, depression, certain mental illnesses, certain cancers. It's stress. And we're in the country of stress.
Yeah.
In the age of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was diagnosed with high blood pressure, I was in my 20s.
Okay.
And I already had children. And I remember my doctor telling me about, the different triggers.
Yeah.
And I also had a tendency to have migraines. And she told me about the triggers for migraines. And she said, you do realize that stress triggers migraines, don't you? She said, I wish I could tell you a way to manage stress. She said, but you're a mom with young kids.
Yeah.
So that's most likely not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because with medication, my blood pressure is actually quite low.
Okay.
So now one of my goals is to get off of the blood pressure medication. But we do live in a society that everything is, hurry up and wait.
Yeah.
And as a result, you don't know if you're coming or going,
Yeah.
especially if you're a woman.
Yeah.
Because we are the ones that are supposed to be taking care of everybody. And I think one of the things that really made me want to change my trajectory was what kind of example am I showing my daughter? As I look at her with her 4 children and seeing her get stressed.
Yeah.
She's a teacher, full elementary school teacher. She's got 4 kids, husband, job, car payments, you name it, dogs, all the things. What am I teaching her? And I had a conversation with her just a couple weeks ago when I was in the hospital the night after my hip replacement. And I said, I don't want you to end up like me in the sense that you put yourself on the back burner and you don't do something for yourself like that. I said, yeah, I know you get your hair done, you get your nails done and all the things, but she used to do Taekwondo. Life got in the way. I think also the school they were in maybe relocated or something. I said, I need you to find something that you can do. I said, mine is lifting weights.
Yeah.
And I'm FaceTiming with her and I'm making her promise me that she will, do this and not wait until she's in her 50s or 60s to figure out, oh, you know what? Maybe I need to do something.
Yeah.
I said, if you continue doing it now, both of your daughters are going to follow your example. I said, and your sons are going to realize the importance of their woman taking care of herself. I said, they need to see you taking care of yourself so that they know if God brings a special woman in their life, it's important that she carve out time for herself.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You talked about longevity. What does it mean to you to be optimistic for the next however long, based on where you were before? Like how is it a burden lifted off? Is it like what do you think about?
3 words. It's my time.
Yeah.
It's my time. I mean, it took me a long time to get to say it's my time because I was always led to believe, I don't want to say always, I don't like always or never, but oftentimes I was led to believe that that's selfish.
Yeah.
My kids are grown. My youngest is going to be 25 at the end of this year. Unbelievable, isn't it? One of my kids finally said, Mom, it's okay for you to focus on you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure? Because I've been in mom mode for 41 years now.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Give yourself permission to do this. I'm still trying to navigate that.
Yeah.
It's still very difficult for me. But now, my kids are going to have fit certain ones. Sometimes if I'm really tired and one of them is calling, I don't feel rushed to answer if I know that it's not urgent.
Yeah.
Okay, like on my birthday, someone asked me, so what'd you do on your birthday? And I laughed. I said, nothing and a whole lot of it. And I was good with that.
Yeah.
I slept late.
Yeah.
Got up to, take my pain medication for the hip. Pops made me some food. When the kids came over later on, it was all good. And it was like, I didn't need to do anything. Now, I'm still struggling with letting Pops do for me because I'm still in, I should be doing this mode. And he's getting mildly frustrated with it. Like, babe, do those vows mean nothing?
Okay.
I mean, we've been married almost 43 years.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I know if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be doing this for him. But I'm learning now that it is my time.
Yeah.
I don't feel, since I work from home, I don't feel as pressured to be at my desk by a certain time.
Yeah.
My boss is amazing. She is one like, no, you need to take care of you.
Yeah.
And all I do is just let her know what time I'm going to be at my desk. And she's like, cool. Because she knows that I'm not going to take her showing me favor like that lightly. I'm not going to abuse that. But if I feel like I got to just shut it down and go lie down and elevate my leg or whatever, or even before the surgery, just go lie down for 15 minutes before getting into mom mode. Now, first I was, Rita, the HR lady.
Yeah.
Now I'm mom and wife mode.
Yeah.
Before I get into that, I need that little break in there where I'll just, maybe lie on the bed and maybe scroll something on my phone or just maybe doze off for a few minutes and not feel guilty about it.
Yeah.
I mean, because Pops, he's good at taking naps.
Oh,
And he's
yeah.
always telling me, you need to take a nap.
Yeah.
Like, no, I got stuff to do. He goes, that'll be there, right?
Yeah. It will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It will. I got a whole bunch of stuff laying there waiting for me.
Oh, yeah. I know. Oh, my desk is covered with papers.
Yeah.
And I know they'll be there tomorrow when I eventually go to my desk. At the end of the day, it's all going to still be there.
Yeah. One of the most profound things I think I heard, it was a husband retired and his wife asked, she's contemplating retirement. And she said, when did you know when the right time was to retire? And he kind of paused and he thought, it's like when the work just keeps coming and he keeps coming and he keeps coming. But I got to a place when my part in the work was completed and it was time to pass the torch. And that's kind of one of those things where you constantly are figuring out, everything. There's always going to be work, right?
Yeah.
But your ability to do the work depends on how efficient you can be, and that is about rest. It's about eating right. It's about training, sleeping well. And I think we kid ourselves about the night owl lifestyle, style of staying up late and trying to get that last bit of thing. When the reality is that if you went to bed at a reasonable time, got up early,
oh yeah,
you'd be more efficient, right?
Although the older you get, it doesn't matter how reasonable a time it is that you go to bed. You still want to sleep in.
Yeah.
My dad, he sleeps in probably till about noon. But again, the man is 90 years old.
Okay.
Now, I turned in really early one night last week, and I thought, oh, this feels so good.
It does.
And, you wake up and it's only midnight. You go, oh, yeah, I still got a good 7 hours to go. And then 7 o'clock comes and you go, no.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It's time to get up. But you don't feel as whipped, And Pops and I mean, we're both off on Fridays. And that's our day to just catch up on some sleep, or for us, that means, okay, we might sleep in until about maybe 10 o'clock or whatever. And then we get our day going because we're both just so spent from the week.
Yeah.
But I think we're both learning that as much as we enjoy what we do, when it comes to jobs, no one is indispensable.
Right. Yeah.
And eventually there's going to be another HR lady. Eventually there's going to be another woman to keep the books. Now, while I'm there, I'm going to do the best be the best bookkeeper or HR person that I can be for the business. But my coworkers know that if I'm off on Friday, they respect that.
Yeah.
They, unless I say I might work a couple of hours and then you can reach me or whatever, but they respect that, and different ones have different off days, and I respect that with them, or I try to. Sometimes I forget, oh, she's not working today. Okay. But we're not indispensable.
No.
And we have to prioritize our health. We have to normalize taking time for ourselves. I'm just, my main regret is that I didn't wrap my head around it sooner.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
You took it out of my mouth.
I wish I'd known this sooner.
Yeah.
One of my closest friends was always saying, she's great at saying no. She's great at getting her naps in.
Mm-hmm.
She's got these adult kids that that she poured into from the time they were babies.
Mm.
She's got a husband that is retired now, and they're able to focus on things like that.
Yeah.
And she takes care of her physical temple.
Mm-hmm.
My friend Renee,
Yeah.
you know her,
Mm-hmm.
and she just she takes great care of herself.
Yeah.
And if she can't do something, she'll tell you that she can't.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I was always, there's that always again, I was led to believe, oh, you got to have a good reason, Rita, if you're going to say no, and then you're going to feel guilty.
Yeah.
But I can't do that because that guilt is elevating my blood pressure.
Yeah. And you know what I found out though is I have that flaw as well.
Mm.
And I'm going to call it a flaw because my intent is to help always.
Yeah.
But I'll say yes and I'm threading a needle to make it happen, right? And the problem when you're saying you're going to help someone, chances are they're in a tight spot and they're expecting all of you to show up. And when half of you shows up, they don't stop to think, well, what is he or she going through? And they're always disappointed anyway.
Yeah.
So sometimes the best thing is just to say no.
Yeah.
And it's not even like you're losing credibility because you showed up, but sometimes they look at you like, man,
why did you show up?
Right.
Yeah.
If you couldn't put all your energy here, why did you show up?
Yeah.
And so I've learned in that space to say, you know what? I just don't have the bandwidth right now, you know? In 3 weeks, I can really help you with that, but right now I just can't. And I feel guilty, but I was always going to feel guilty.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right. You know, they were always going to be upset. They're going to be upset you didn't show up, or they're going to be upset half of you showed up.
Right.
Right. So then, but I am not in that space. I'm not occupying, and that space is an occupying part of me. And yeah, and then I go do what I was supposed to do. I feel great, and and finish my things, and life goes on. And a lot of times, I think most people, they figure it out.
Yeah.
They figure it out.
Yeah.
You know?
I was told decades ago that when you say yes to one thing, that means you have to say no to something else.
Mostly it's yourself.
And that was a conversation that Pops and I had repeatedly over the years.
Yeah.
And sometimes the conversations, they weren't always sweet little, oh, honey, can you slow down? And be like, you going to do this? Really?
All y'all married people out there.
Oh, yeah.
Take notes.
Yeah. I'm just, being real.
Yeah.
And usually it's me with the attitude, not him. He's probably getting frustrated thinking, are we going to dance this dance again? But I would say, babe, you realize if you're saying yes to this, you're saying no to that, and the no is to us, and and by that time, I've made them want to say yes because, like, let me get away from this woman, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But you're usually saying no to yourself, or the people that are closest to you that would need you the most. But something else that I'm learning now is someone, will say, well, I really need you for this and this and this. Then you have to wonder, what would that person do if I weren't around? They'd have to find somebody else, or they'd have to figure it out some kind of way, wouldn't they? So why do I have to put on my vest with the S on the front? If I don't have to, if they have other options.
Yeah.
I mean, Pops more so than me. Pops, because he's extroverted, he loves to serve.
Yeah.
But me, like during COVID, being locked down, I was good.
It was great.
I was good.
Yeah.
I didn't mind not leaving the house. Pops, he was chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
But me, No, I'm cool here at home. I'm cool being virtual on Zoom with everybody, you know, for work. And my coworkers, one of them even said, "Rita, don't you miss us?" I said, "Of course I miss y'all, but I really love being at home." And I still love being at home.
That's good.
But Pops has a harder time, I think, saying no than I do.
Yeah.
No, I eventually say yes, but I'm more reluctant about it to him because it's like, well, I'll do it because he wants to do it or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say is the greatest opportunity in all of this?
Maybe giving some inspiration to older women of color.
Okay.
Because we're a demographic that's not always served. We're looked at as being, see, I mean, I grew up with, you know, you had those Southern grandmas who, you know, were always cooking and those types of grandmas, you know, and I loved both of my grandmothers, Rosie Mae and Bessie Mae. They were, and of course, everybody's middle name was Mae back then too. But and my mama was the same way when she became a grandma, pouring into the kids and the grandkids, but you didn't see them do much for themselves. I mean, my mom, all of her things that she did were around her church.
Yeah.
Our nickname for her was Church Lady.
Okay.
Because she'd have her little hat on and everything, and she was very active in her church. And yet I didn't see her doing anything to take care of her physical health. She had, within an 18-month time span, one knee and both hips replaced.
Oh, wow.
So she had 3 joints replaced. My youngest sister has had 3 joints replaced, and now I am what she calls me, her bionic twin now, because she's on her 2nd knee replacement, and I've had both knees, and she's had a hip.
Okay.
So you know, and my sister and I were talking about this. We need to let people see that it's not too late. We were joking about how, you know, you go to the doctor and they tell you, okay, you've got this or you've got that. And excuse me, sometimes in our culture, people will say, "Oh, honey, you got the sugars?" Well, you know, that's your lot in life. You know there's no cure for it, right? You know there's no this, you know there's no that. You may as well just go head on and just live. But then you want the doctor to write your prescription. And you take these shots or these pills, and you're slowly killing your cells while you're, you know, eating whatever you want. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm a card-carrying chocoholic. And I have yet to meet a potato chip that I didn't love. But I'm not going to feast on a steady diet of that. In terms of fried foods, we didn't do a lot of frying food when I was raising our kids. I was lazy. It was too messy for me. But I love some fried chicken. But and yeah, we do all those things, but not on a regular basis. I think my kids as adults probably are healthier eaters than Pops and I were, because Pops loves a good chicken wing. But he does them in the air fryer now.
Okay.
I want people to see that it's not too late, that you can reverse things. You know, you get told, "Oh, you may as well just give it up." Like, you know, some people say, "Hold my beer." Well, I don't drink, so I would say, "Hold my tea," which I probably don't need to be drinking anyway. Let me show you. And that's when I started coming in here back at the beginning of the year and going in the back and working with the weights. And, you know, when I was told, you know, the challenge was going to be, "Oh, I think we can have you lift 200 by the time of your surgery." And I'm thinking, your lips to God's ears. But I thought, okay, challenge accepted. We'll see what we can do.
I think it was 205, actually. Was it?
I thought it was 200.
All right, 200.
Yeah,
yeah. But we'll get to 205. We'll get that 5 in there.
Eventually. Yeah. But you know, it's not too late, which leads me to another person that's an inspiration to me. Her name is Nora Langdon. And I think I might have told you about her. She's on Instagram. Her handle is Nora Lifts Heavy. One of your interns actually works at her gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Venetia, who trained me back there.
Yeah.
Nora is in her 80s, and she's a power lifter. She was on, so I started following her, and this woman is just all muscle. I mean, you look at her arms and you look at her legs and you think, does she have any body fat on her? She's in her 80s, Ivan.
Yeah.
I don't know how far into her 80s, but that means she's at least 15 years older than I am.
Yeah. A lot can happen in 15 years.
And I'm watching her going, wow.
Yeah.
Well, she was recently, I guess, on Jennifer Hudson's show.
Okay.
And I don't normally watch her show, but she had posted on Instagram, I'm going to be on Jennifer Hudson's show. So, of course, I immediately go to record it. And I decided, I was going to watch. So I'm fast forwarding through the show. And then she comes out. Little thing, built like a little tank, though.
Yeah.
And she's got a belt from having won a competition.
Okay.
Hair all done, looking just as cute as she wants to be. I sat there and I started crying. And I just said, wow, you go, Miss Nora. This is a woman, African American, probably somebody's grandma, maybe somebody's great grandma, in her 80s, lifting weights, strengthening her body, adding years to her life. Ernestine Shepherd, pushing 90 years old, strengthening her body, adding years to her life. Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
The only person that was getting in my way was me. And, my kids have been encouraging. Kids I've given birth to, kids that I haven't given birth to, saying, Mama, you got this. The only person that didn't think I got this was me.
The optimism for me to see you is just, what you can accomplish going forward based on your excitement with everything that you've been through. But I feel like every time we talk about a surgery, weight loss, strength gain, just like, all right, here's a new lease on life. But I feel like now, like, this is the moment, I think, that you've been waiting for to really just take that next step forward. And I'm really happy for you.
Well, I appreciate that. It feels different. I mean, I know in the past I've come close to feeling that, but I think it was something about that deadlifting.
Yeah. Because
just before I did the 200, Venetia said, now we're going to try 185. And, if the 200 doesn't work, you don't even think about it like that. And when I went to lift the 185, there is a vast difference between 165 and 185.
There is. It's a huge difference.
I mean, I didn't expect to feel that much fight having to come out of me. And I just remember pulling it up, and now I see why weightlifters yell. You got to let that out somehow. And I'm grunting. And she laughed. She said, how did that feel? She said, did you feel that fight? And I said, that was the most incredible feeling, having to work for it. And then she said, now, do you want to try to? And I said, now, some people might say, wow, that's 200 pounds. I said to her, it's only another 15 pounds. Because that was the mindset I had to give myself. And when you put that video up on social media, the first thing I did was start looking at it and critiquing my form. Like I know some stuff, right?
No.
But I was talking myself through it, everything that all the trainers had told me to do. And I'm watching like, okay, all right, yep, that's where I put my shoulders back right there. And okay, now I'm praying and now I'm focusing. And I'm looking at my arms going, okay, it's at that point where I decided to lift. I mean, it was almost like my arms were showing me,
Oh, yeah.
okay, yeah, you're about to lift this up, because Venetia kept saying, remember, just let it come up. And next thing I know, it's up, and I'm yelling like a kid. Wow, I had never felt anything like that ever.
Yeah. And it showed, like, the joy, you know,
Yeah.
like infectious joy, the
It was so
excitement.
cool.
It was
And Pop
powerful.
said to me, he goes, as soon as you recover, you have to go back to lifting.
Yeah.
He said, that's your happy
Yeah.
place. And I said, who knew that at 66 years old, that would be my happy place?
You know, I think part of it,
Lifting heavy stuff?
But you've been lifting heavy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
You've had burdens, you know, you've been through things. And that's the thing I think, you know, the weight room is a microcosm of life,
Is
right?
it? Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, you
Okay.
set goals, and if you don't do your homework, well, they crush you, right?
Yeah.
If you tell everybody you're benching 300, well, the lift comes, the meat comes.
Yeah.
And if you can't get it up, you can't get it up, and you're
Yeah.
humbled, right? But then you choose, do I go back and work, or do I walk out the door, right?
Yeah.
And so much of like what is inside the weight room is you can't lie about it. You just got to either carry it or you have to quit.
Okay.
You know,
Gotcha.
and so, but once you accept the challenge, and once you let your body develop, once you become, you know, primal, you're yelling, you're focused, you're lifting weight. And it's kind of funny how you say you gotta let it come up. Man, you know how heavy this is to let it come up, you know?
Yeah.
But when you get strong enough, that's kind of what happens.
Yeah.
It just comes up, you
Yeah.
know? But then you're empowered, you know? And then you want more, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a microcosm of life. Once you hit your goals, it's the most archaic way, the most, I don't know.
It was crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, the introvert in me, you know, I was going to try, you know, when I first started lifting, I'm just going to be cool. You know, I'm not going to make noises. But no, when I did that lift and I let out that yell, and I'm looking at myself on this video going, I'm acting like a kid. It was like, I don't care who hears me at this point. Like, yes, look at what was just done here. Now, what's funny is about a week later, well, no, actually, a week later, just before the surgery. Not even a week later, Pops and I went grocery shopping, and there were grocery bags in the back seat. Normally, he carries stuff in. And I thought, well, he's got an armful of grocery bags. And I looked and I went, well, I don't know if I can lift these grocery bags. And then I said out loud to myself, girl, you deadlifted 200 pounds. You better get these bags out of this car.
You know, that's what he's going to say now from going, you know. Is there a fear associated with putting yourself first?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I mean, I'm still a bit of a people pleaser. And there's still going to be a part of me going, oh, they're thinking I'm vain and I'm this and I'm that. Or what if I'm so busy taking care of me that something goes lacking? But there's a balance to that I have to learn. Putting myself first doesn't mean I'm taking everybody else off of the list. It just means that before, you know how they say on the plane, put your air, your oxygen mask on before doing somebody's child. That's all I'm doing. I'm just putting my oxygen mask on so that I can help them with theirs if they need it. I mean, you know, they all say, Mom, we need you. And I jokingly say, you know, to Pops, why? So that you all can make sure I cook dinner before I die or whatever. And of course, they can't stand when I say stuff like that. But I got to take care of me because at the end of the day, this is the temple that God has entrusted to me. And I've messed it up enough, you know. I've done enough. I've got volumes on everything I did wrong. So if I can do some stuff right, I wanna do some stuff right while I can. And there's a little bit of vanity too.
Okay.
You know, I wanna be I mean, I hashtag myself grandma who lifts. You know, I wanna be that chick.
Yeah.
And I wanna, you know, I've always wanted the Angela Bassett arms
Yeah.
and all of that. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she's my age and look at her.
Yeah.
Look at those arms. And I've been wanting her arms for ages. Like, I'm going for your arms, Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Or
And a little bit
whatever.
of hubris and ego is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You
There's
know?
nothing wrong with
Yeah.
wanting to look nice in your outfit,
Yes.
you know? And there's nothing wrong with wanting to look nice while you're walking somewhere with your handsome husband.
Yeah.
And basically saying, yeah, y'all can look, but
Yeah.
he chose this chick right here. You know, that sort of thing. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I like it. Thank you so much for doing
Thank
this.
you.